Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Sorry, I've been talking and probably you have not been hearing what I have talked. So I'm going to repeat again. So, that's why I want you guys to use the comment. I want you to use comments as much as you can so that you let me know what is going wrong and so I can correct it in the real time. So it seems like I have been talking and you have not been hearing me at all. So I'm going to repeat again. Yes, so I'm going to start over because so I've been talking and I was in mute, and that is just how it is like when you are starting up something. So let me go back to the something I've talked about. So I talked about the tools we need in order for us to start coding, and so let me go back to the basic. So I talked about the first tools like in every like if you want to write a Word document, you know the software you need in order for you to start writing the document. So the first things that can come into mind is like you need word processor, which is like Microsoft Word, and also you need like I presented one like Microsoft Word. So now for coding now you need something a little bit different because you are going to write software. So that's where you need a code editor. So something you see on the screen is called the VS Code, the code editor that you're going to download, and make sure that in the next class you'll be having it installed. So I also shared the link in the comment section, and I also encourage you guys to, in order like to interact with the class, also I'll put the questions in the comment, and these questions really help the community and plus the other people that can watch it so that we can create a community so that like if I answer one question so that it can be like I'm answering the question for another person. So, and this you see on the screen is the first tool you need in order to get started. And I talked about why it is so important of like why do we need a VS Code editor? It's because we need to write some codes. And in order for us to write some codes, we need where to write codes. Of course, we cannot use the Microsoft Word to write software because that is not what is meant to be. So that is the first tool. So then in this class, I talked about like we are going to use PHP, and this is the first things we are going to use, right? So and there is different programming language. There is PHP, there is Java, there is JavaScript, and there is so many. So but before that, why did I choose PHP? First is because it's just a popular programming language, and I shared some links about why I think it is most ideal for the beginners to start with PHP. So I'm going to give a little bit of comment why I chose PHP as the language that you are going to learn in this class. So let me share the stories of WordPress. So guys, you understand, you if you have been around with the web, you understand, like, oh, somehow you have used WordPress, because a lot of people really use WordPress to publish their blogs and so forth. And like 60% of websites really are in WordPress, and the surprising thing is that WordPress is built on top of PHP. And another case study that I want to share is that Facebook. Facebook also use PHP behind the scene in order to do what it does. So you can see that PHP in a website, in building website, it has a high margin in terms of like how many websites that run on top of PHP. So another point why I chose to teach PHP in this class is because it is very easy for beginners to get up and running, and also to get concept of programming wrapped up. So that is the main reason, and I shared the links of those websites that use PHP, WordPress, Facebook, and so forth. Those are the two big player that use PHP. So what is PHP anyway? So what is PHP? If someone asks you what is PHP, why I'm learning PHP. So the simple answer is that I want to be a web developer, or at least I want to know how a website works and how can I build a website. That can be a simple answer. But let me share you what is PHP by Google. Like if you do Google search here, they tell you like PHP is the hypertext preprocessor and is general purpose scripting language, and it is suited to web development. So you can see that PHP is the oldest scripting language we have, because back in the days where the web was born, so that was PHP, and that's where we like PHP get a lot of popularity, because there was no other competition back in the time in '94. So after time, PHP evolved, and you know, now we have what we call version 8. So like there was so many versions back then, and now we have modern PHP that is more fast and more robust. So how do we get PHP up to your machine? So that is the question. So how do we make sure that we can now execute PHP script? So that is the next thing. So you need another tool. So I talked about the first tool you need. The first tool you need is the VS Code, and that is the code editor you need. And I shared, like, let me go back a little bit quick, so that by the next time, so all of you guys, you have the tools we need in order to run the programming. The first tool you need to install is, I put down in a comment. You have the VS Code, and this is the tools that we are going to use in order for us to write PHP code. So another tool you need is another tool you need is XAMPP. Of course, you can use WAMP, but because of this class purpose, and because I want the class to be the same, so you need also to install the XAMPP Apache. So why we need XAMPP? First is because we need to have PHP installed to your machine, and after the PHP is installed, then you can be able to execute the PHP script. So then after that, you'll be ready to start the class. And because this class will be like every after 2 days, like the next class would be like on Wednesday. Like if we are on Monday, then the next class would be on Wednesday at 8 p.m. And this is the best time for everyone, like after work, after the normal work, which is most like something good for everyone. And I hope that by the next time you'll be having all the tools that we need in order to start writing some code. So another things I wanted to comment is that the difference of this class versus to the other class. So this class will not be focusing on the slides, because this is not a normal class where like you see the slide and you get notes. So basically I will just make sure that I teach you the practical part of like how you can become a software engineer. And I will make you work so hard so that in a few months you can become the software engineer you want. So I also talked about why it is so important to be a software engineer in these days. First is because it is not like when you compare the number of Africans that are on the website, only 17, around 17 and 20 of Africans know internet, or sometimes they use internet. So with the push of pandemic, everyone is now on internet, and it is predicted that in next coming years, a lot of people will shift, a lot of business will shift from traditional business to the online business. And all of this really brings a lot of opportunity to for engineers, for businesses, for business and engineers at the same time. So there is a lot of job that is going to be created soon, and even now, if you are a software engineer, there is no way you cannot have a job. So either way, if you don't have a job, you suck. So that is just something really no. So that's why I really believe that creating the software engineers, creating a lot of software engineers can be one of the things that can, benefit you if you watch this video, and also uh, help the community to find another stream of income. So, and that's something really I want to see happening, and that's why I dedicated my free time after work to this class and make sure that I can share the skills that I have. So I also encourage you guys to, like, whatever question you have, please make sure that you use comment section of under this video, and the video will always be there so that you can go back and watch it, and rewind if you want, so that you make sure that by the next class um, you are you are set and you have not left behind. And so that's what we have for this class. I don't want just to spend a lot of time. So basically, the class will be taking 30 minutes, and it will be full of writing some codes. So you need to be ready, and so that I can help you. So also be engaged with the video. Make sure that you comment if you have the question, so that I can answer the question and help the community at the same time. So if there's no question, talking about questions, if there's no question, I'm going to pause for now, then wait for another class, and I assume that by the next class you'll be having the tools that we need in order to start coding. So I was waiting any question or comment. So if I don't see any question, I'm going to finish the class by now. Then see you in next class. How about that? Bye. See you next time. I hope you'll be having the software we need in order to start the class. And next time we'll be starting coding. See you next time.